So I've always known that CELAC has had that potential, and I've referred to CELAC before as a big deal, because it is a big deal.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines has become the first CARICOM member state to assume the presidency of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States, CELAC, after achieving unanimous support from the 33-member organization. The pro-tempore presidency of CELAC was transferred from the Argentine President Alberto Fernandez to SVG's Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonzalez at the 7th Summit of Heads of States and Government convened in Argentina. The SVG delegation arrived back home on Wednesday to a ceremony and motorcade to celebrate the historic achievement for the country. Speaking to an audience of local and Latin American media at the Argyle International Airport, both the Foreign Affairs Minister and the Prime Minister spoke to the plans for SVG's leadership of the organization, as well as the benefits to come from bilateral agreements.
The CELAC population, the Community of Latin American Caribbean States, has over 600 million people with vast resources, and we share common interests. As much as we may have differences of culture, there are many areas touching and concerning all of our states which allows us to be united. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as Dion previously said, we have shown that we have the capacity and the capability to lead and to do so effectively and efficiently. And we are able to do so with the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, who has done his part in taking diplomacy higher for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. To the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we've put in the groundwork, and we have now been elected as the pro-tempore president for the year 2023, and we have a lot of work to do. We're not going to be naive about it, but I know, based on the work ethic of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and I've spoken about this ministry many times, they are hardworking, and I know that once we work together with the personnel who will be housed at the CELAC Secretariat, that we will do exceedingly well.
I know persons are saying, but how small St. Vincent and Grenadines is going to do this thing? I had a press briefing, and the first question asked, the Latin American and international press were present. First question a woman asked, what can a small country like St. Vincent and the Grenadines do to help to move CELAC? And I told her, I said, look at our record, and you will see that we performed with distinction. After I answered her fully, she said, I agree with you, size is not the issue, and she was reassured by the answer that I gave her. There's a special resolution sponsored by Mexico, that resolution on small arms. And small arms is not just the short arms, but also assault weapons. The ease with which they get out of the United States, and for us to set up the mechanism to help to track them and so on. That's an important issue for us, well, for the whole of Latin America. The top seven countries in the world in relation to rates of homicide per 100,000 persons are in the Caribbean and Latin America. All these things have to be taught to students, you know. And what I'm saying here, if they take time and listen to what I'm saying, they can use these as signposts, and they can get the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to help them to understand these things, because these are things in your immediate environment which you must know. And inside of the in the declaration is, as I had highlighted, a paragraph addressing the question of reparations, reparatory justice for the enslavement of African bodies. So that is part, you strengthen this campaign. And we in St. Vincent have to be doing more in that regard, and we in CARICOM, and that will come up in just over 2 weeks in the Bahamas when the CARICOM heads of government meet.
Reporting for Searchlight Online, Christina Smith.